The funeral of broadcaster and DJ Warrick Stock, known as DJ Warras, will take place on Tuesday. Warras was shot and killed in Johannesburg earlier this week. He was 40 years old and was widely known for his work in radio and television, including his time on SABC 1's Live Amp. Tributes have continued to pour in from colleagues, artists and fans across the country. Now, many have described him as a dedicated broadcaster and a powerful voice for youth culture. When he stepped away from Live Amp, colleagues paid tribute to his impact, praising his dedication, creativity, and the powerful voice he brought to South African broadcasting. Let's listen in and watch.
Today's your final show, friend. We're so excited to be here with you. It is your final rodeo. We're here to celebrate you for everything you've done. Everything you've been celebrated for is incredible. I'm going to cry.
Are you going to let me cry?
I can't believe I'm even here. But guys, thank you so much for joining us there at home. It is time for him, Uguti Manje, because he's the longest running presenter here on Live. 6 whole years since 2012.
I got old on this show, man. What can I say? I haven't been used to this for a long time. I feel very short. I should have just stayed up there.
No,
but
it's okay.
Thank you so much, guys, for making time and coming through. What an amazing journey it's been thus far. I've worked with the best, as you can see, Paul, Tusi, Loot Love, LKG. I love you, girl. Today is the last show, but we're going to make it one to remember.
We are going to make it one to remember, friend.
It's
fine. Okay, friend, we'll stand next to you.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, he's never been this tall.
I've never been this tall, and I'm not going to be short on my last show. You know what I mean?
So, friend, you've worked with some amazing people in the last 6 years, especially behind the scenes, and they have a lot of love for you and a lot of good things to say, so let's check this out.
They better.
Hey, Warras, okay, thank you for everything you've done for Live Amp. I don't believe this is the end. I think this is the beginning, especially in Pillionaire. This is the next step. But in terms of Live Amp, thank you, Mfethu. You've done your part. 6 years on the show. The longest serving presenter. I mean, I've worked with you for 4 years. It's been great. It's been nice. Take it easy, and if it's easy, take it home. So I hope you're going to take it home.
Warras, our shady lurker, thank you so much for all 6 years that you've been with us. We have loved every minute of having you on the show. We know you're going to go from strength to strength, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for everything, and have a wonderful, successful future. We know you will.
Yo, Warras, shout out to you for sticking it out for 6 years. I mean, you're the longest running presenter of Live Amp, and everyone has been saying that, and that's actually an achievement. That's great. You'll be dearly missed by both the Urban Brew as well as the Live Amp families. The sets will not be the same without you. Your craziness, I mean, people don't actually know how crazy you are, but I think for you, what's lined up in the future is great things only.
My fellow fossil. Shady lurker. I mean, how does one sum up 6 amazing, magnificent years with you? You, sir, have grown from strength to strength, from leaps to bounds. You have been an absolute pleasure to work with, a pleasure to turn up with. You have made every single Friday, as rebellious as you are, you've made every single Friday absolutely amazing.
All right, of course, by way of an update on his murder, National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola had indicated during a media briefing that it was only a matter of time before police take down those responsible for the murders of Marius van der Merwe and Warrick Stock and the Soulsville shooting. Masemola did, in fact, also tell the media that police will make an arrest in connection with the death of DJ Warras before Monday. Of course, we'll continue to follow that up. But ahead of his funeral, former Live Amp producer Nhlanhla Mthimkhulu joins us now on the line to reflect on the life and the work of Warrick Stock, DJ Warras. Thank you so much, Nhlanhla, for your time. So towards the latter part of his life, DJ Warras wore many hats, so to speak. How would you describe his role on Live Amp as a colleague specifically? I mean, he was the longest running presenter on Live Amp.
Warras hasn't been there the longest. He got to experience all facets of Live Amp as a show, and also just got to interact with so so many people who actually worked on the show, who made the show what it eventually became. He was one of the most amazing people that I've ever worked with. I think his energy, the energy he brought every Friday when he came to the office, was really testament to the cool dude that he was. At the memorial, a representative from the SABC, Dichaba, did say Live Amp was made cool by Warras. And I can safely attest to that as well. His energy really made the show what it was. He was an amazing guy. I think if you blinked twice, you would have missed the fact that he's actually talent and not part of the crew, because he was such a team player as well. He was just an all-rounder great dude.
Just going back to that memorial service that you just described, when you were listening to all the stories that were being told by his friends, his family, I mean, one thing was clearly clear there, that everybody would remember how he made them feel, because he treated everybody almost the same. I mean, for you, what are some of the things that made him stand out the most?
You know, I think, as I would have mentioned in my speech at the memorial, that he wasn't someone who expected some kind of special treatment, and I think that human element in him is really what made him able to connect with people on a human level before anything else. You know, if we were eating takeaways, he wouldn't want anything special for himself. If we're sitting in an uncomfortable position, as you know, with how things go in production, you go to weird locations, you go to uncomfortable destinations, those sort of things. Like, he would never, ever expect to be treated as a celebrity or someone who was more important than everyone else within the crew. So I think that's just how he was, not only at work, at home as well. Would see his interactions with his family, would see his interactions with his friends. He was just the same person throughout with everyone that is in his life.
Yeah, and I mean, when we start talking about his life, we've also heard what an activist he was. For you, what is the kind of legacy that you think he leaves behind, particularly in South African television and radio?
I think for me, he's someone who really advocated for the country, a true patriot in every sense of the word. He connected with people from different racial lines. He connected with different ages. He connected with all sorts of people, you know, well-off people, people who are considered to have less. Rather, he connected with every kind of person, and I think his legacy is just being able to connect on a human level over and above the circumstances. And I think that's one thing that we're really going to remember him for, just being a human being in all aspects of his life and in all aspects of his career as well. And I think he was such a great broadcaster. A lot of people can learn so much from him. He was naturally gifted. As I said in the memorial, he wasn't someone who stuck to the script. He was able to improvise on the spot. When auto cue would go off, he'd be able to pick up a line and keep the show going. Lut Love mentioned that whenever they needed to buy time on air, they'd never ask her, they'd always ask Warras, because he was such a natural talent. And he was so committed to the craft as well, over and above being naturally gifted within the field. So I think his legacy really would be just to remain humble, even in the face of success, and also love what you do with everything in you. Be able to face every challenge within the workspace, and just basically just fully commit yourself to the things that matter the most to you, and always take into consideration the people around you.
Just listening to you, I mean, one really can say, you know, without a doubt, and having listened to other speakers too, saying that crime has really robbed, you know, the industry of another artist. As we wrap our conversation, what should the public remember most about DJ Warras? We know, of course, that his killers are still yet to be apprehended, but I'm sure that's not how you want his lasting impressions to be.
Definitely. I think would do him a great service if we remembered him as someone who was a great patriot, someone who put South Africa first in his own little way, And I think if you would have seen most of his comments and most of commentary on his video or podcast and all of those, and social media as well, he's someone who really, really, really loved this country so much. And I think the headline of his life should not be how he exited, but how he works towards making South Africa great again.
Absolutely. Nhlanhla, thank you so much for speaking to us. Really do appreciate it. That's the former Live Amp producer, Nhlanhla Mthimkhulu, on the line for us.